Greetings, Tetris citizens. It is your old pal Vandy back with more classic Tetris Monthly Masters event for June 2025. And what we have got for you today, well, we've got a lot. We got 8 matches, which that's a lot of matches for Masters in a 39 rolling era. So there's tons of Tetris happening today. Can't wait because the matchups are nuts. The matchups are very, very nuts. Let's go ahead and take a look at our top 16. What we are going to be doing is right now we're going to be playing the red and pink top 16 bracket. That is 3 matches. The bottom right hand corner, where you're looking, that's where it is. So it's going to be Huffaluffagus versus Tugi, Knight versus Pixelandy, and then the winner of those 2 matches will face off to determine who goes to the semifinals. So that is what we're doing right now. Now a little bit later, so right now it's noon in Texas. At 6 p.m. in Texas, we are going to be doing the orange bracket. This will determine the last of our open spots in the top 16. We're going to have Miles versus Wallbant. The winner of that will take on 2-time reigning champ Dog, who's going for a back 3-back. Dog won Mega Masters April, and then May normal regular old monthly CTM. So yeah, Miles versus Wallbant, and the winner takes on Dog. All of that is going to feed into a match against Meme at some point later in the month. So that is going to be our second stream. That's at 6 p.m., 6 hours from now. And then 2 hours, basically right after that, it's going to be another top 16 stream. 3 more matches. That is going to be the blue and purple on your screen right now. That's going to be Alex T versus Hydrant Dude. And then Blue Scooty versus Tetris Time. And then winner versus winner to determine another semi-finalist. Do we have any semi-finalists determined already? The answer is no. So we're going to determine our first 2 today. We already have, 1 in Das Masters. But yeah, none today. None so far for Masters. So we're going to be making a lot of progress in the Masters event today. Upcoming streams. Yeah, you can see Commodore Friday. Thanks for the sub on Twitch. Appreciate that. You can see this 3 streams today. On Tuesday, there will be 2 more top 16 streams. 1 in Das Masters, 1 Masters. Both are the green and teal brackets in their respective tournaments. Das Masters will be at noon Texas time, 17 UTC. That's Meme, Knight, Hana, and Giovanni. And then Masters will be Tristop, Guafi, Cole, and Eyeball. Is that right in Das Masters? Let me just make sure that that's right in Das Masters. Yeah, that is right. Okay, good. So, yeah, and then that pink bracket that didn't happen last night, there was a mix-up with the times. That has been rescheduled for Wednesday. So we are making very, very heavy progress in all of our tournaments very quickly. Even given, a late start, June, CTWC, we started about a week late. So, yeah, we're making a lot of progress. So thanks to the players for their flexibility and for the schedulers for doing one of the toughest jobs you could ever do, which is trying to schedule Tetris players. That is not an easy thing to do. All right, so do we know where we're at? All right, we know what we're doing? Good. Let's take a look at our rules so you know what we're even doing here. And what we are doing is playing a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, appearance, and statistics are unmodified. They can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons used or turbo functions used, whether electronical or mechanical. Biological turbo only. Players should not receive any in-game advice. They should not pause unless the commentator tells them to. So if you experience tech issues, just keep playing, and we will figure it out. We will make a judgment call, but the important thing is don't pause, don't do anything, just keep playing until I, the commentator, say otherwise. Players, it will be level 18 starts all the way through level 39 super kill screen. It is a best of 5, so the first of 3 wins is the winner of the match. And of course, we are uncapping the score for these tournaments. And we'll be using same piece sets re-rolled in between each game of the match. And the winner gets absolutely something. And that is a share in a prize pool, which has reached $1,199.99. We had a big contribution over the last, 24 hours from our good friend Scott Gray. That's going to get us to $1199.99. So he's gotten us a big chunk of the way there. The rest is up to you. This prize pool is 100% funded by you, the fans. So this whole endeavor gets as big as you want it to get. And if you love having Tetris, high-level Tetris, big, deep tournaments, nearly every single month, if you like that and you like watching that and you watch it all the time, well, one of the ways that you can ensure that the players keep coming back to play in this thing is to contribute to the prize pool. So I understand not everybody is able to do it, but if you are able to do it, wherever you can contribute, please do help us out, or the players out, really. Use the Matcherino command if you're watching live on Twitch and YouTube. That'll bring up 2 links. The first one is the one for the Masters event. Click on that to be taken to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. Top right-hand corner is where you log in. Click on the login button. You can log in with your existing Twitch or YouTube account. No need to make another account. It's fine. And then once you're in, click on the button that says contribute, and a little box will open up, and there you can contribute. So thanks to everybody who has contributed to the prize pool. Really appreciate that, and the players do as well. And so that's how to support the players. If you want to support the channel that makes these tournaments possible, well, you can go to Patreon. That's one way to support us. Patreon.com/monthly Tetris. I think Lori just subscribed, so thank you, Lori. Not added to the slide yet. We'll get that. We refresh it once a month. Thank you, Lori. Really appreciate that, as well as everybody else on this screen who is supporting Classic Tetris Monthly and making sure that it can continue to happen. We're running 2 and soon to be 3 deep tournaments, nearly every single month. Top level Tetris all year long. And if that is something that is important to you, well, support it. Make sure it continues to happen, just like these people on your screen are doing right now. Big shout outs to Scott Gray, Jay in the Window, K9 Tacky, Corporal Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cat and Mila. Really appreciate that. You also have on Twitch, if you want to support us there, you can you can subscribe to the channel. If you got bits you can do, you can gigantify emotes. You can use your Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime Gaming subscription. If you're on YouTube, you got super chats and stickers and super thanks and super this and super that. You can also become a channel membership. You can also gift memberships on both of those platforms. So thank you to everybody who is doing that. Okay. I think that's enough of my blathering for one opener here. So let's go over to our play scene and find our players. We'll fix up the cams while they warm up. And I'm a lot of big matchups today. So pretty excited about that. And all right, we got Huff here sitting crisscross applesauce in the pajama bottoms. I mean, living life. Air conditioning. What else do you need? Air conditioning, pajama pants. Nothing. You don't need anything else in life. You got everything you need. Tetris. Love it. All right, let's go ahead and refresh our other stream. You can change? No, don't change. That is perfect. I mean, that is how you should be living. Oh crap! I have to schedule my round 1 match. Oh my goodness gracious! I'm very busy ruining Tetris. Hold on, 14. Fix our cam up. Thanks to our players for having great cam setups. Really helps make the stream look nice. So thank you for that. Let these players warm up for another minute, and then we will get underway. I usually talk for about 12 minutes, which is insane. I can't believe I have 12 minutes worth of stuff to say every time, but it's all stuff that needs to be said. We got to support the channel, got to support the players, got to let you know what's coming up. It couldn't leave out a syllable. All right, just gonna fix up these cams one little bit more, and we should be good. You're getting an OBS error? Okay, we'll refresh you. What are you, 14? Seed 14 Masters? Let's see what happens. Okay, you are good. All right, players, I'm going to go ahead and put pieces in the chat. If I remember how to do that. Yeah, just hit this little button that says seed. Ready? See if it works. Oh my God. You can press a button and automatically chat in Twitch. What a world. What a world. I know. I have to schedule my round 1 match. Holy, I should just do that right now. Who is my who is my opponent? Somebody want to schedule me? I don't know. They don't want to. I'm very lazy. Tournament operation. Was it operations? Community scheduling? I think I might have been pinned 1 time or 2 times. I'm available. Most times. I would like to not play tomorrow, but any other day, as long as don't have a stream, I will play. You remember when Tugi was a DAS player? When you asked that, oh, Kingsman told me. Oh, I forget. I mean, Tugi is still a DAS player and still a goated one. Tugi has the 3rd overall highest score in DAS at 1.3 whatever. I mean, former world record holder, post-transition record holder, or was with DAS until recently. So Tugi's still a goated DAS player. I don't know what you're saying there, Magnavox, but all right, Tugi, you are on Tetris. You are not on Seed. You are on Tetris. So you just got Seed checked. What's the DAS high score world record right now? Like 1.35 something. All right, E96, E19. It looks like both players are ready. This is our top 16 red bracket. The winner goes to the top 8. It's going to be either Huff or Tugi. Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We had a big contribution to the prize pool in the last 24 hours to get us up to $1,199.99. Thanks so much to Scott Gray for helping support the stream this and so many other months. Really appreciate that. If you want to help the prize pool, use the Matcherino command. On the left side of your screen, it is Huffaluffagus, a 2-time CTM Masters event winner. Huff was seed number 3. So in virtue of having a top 8 seed in this tournament, yeah, you don't have to play until the top 16. You get an automatic berth into the top 16. Everybody else is trying to play in to that top 16, fill those empty 8 slots. So Huff, with that qualifier, 1.633 million. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Gets to start in the top 16. So this is Huff's first match this month in this tournament. Huff with an overall PB of 4.899 million. That is good for about 15th on the overall PB leaderboard. Is ranked number 14 in the most recent Premier poll, which is a ranking monthly of the best competitive Tetris players. And you can see the full results over at premierpoll.com, Premier with an E at the end. Huffaluffagus is the former score world record holder. That was all the way back when the world record was 1.676. That was in November of 2021. 30th appearance this month in Masters for Huffaluffagus. 2 victories. Won the most recently won No Cap November in 2023, a 6-time gold bracket participant in CTWC, was the runner-up in CTWC in 2021, was top 4 the year before, and has also 2 top 8 finishes, 2022 and 2023, and has played a bunch of regionals, winner of WPL Columbus in 2022 and 2023. And you've seen him in Milwaukee, Blank's Garage, and won that. Remember when Honda Fan Cup was a thing? Remember, like, that was that one year? Yeah, Huffaluffagus won that. That was October of 2022. So that is Huffaluffagus. On the right side of your screen, it is Tuggi. By the way, 304 for Huff, 288 for Tuggi here in game number 1 of this best of 5. Tuggi qualified in with a 1.37 million qualifier, and that got Tuggi seed number 14. And then Tuggi defeated Jakob in round 2 to get here to this round 3 top 16. Tuggi from Austria has a PB of 2.27 million. That's good for about 37th on the overall list. Tuggi is the former DAS score world record holder, currently 3rd on the DAS PB leaderboard. This is Tuggi's 9th appearance in the Masters event, inclusive of Mega Masters. And Tuggi has finished as high as top 16 multiple times, but most recently last month. So if Tuggi can win this match, this would be his deepest run in Masters. So he's looking to do that. 455 for Tuggi, 428 for Huffaluffagus. Tuggi also a 3-time Mega Masters participant, 4-time CTWC Gold participant, was 4th in CTWC's DAS tournament in Cologne, Germany, the one that's coming up in a few weeks. Was 4th in 2022, top 8 in 2023. Also played in CTEC in the 2 online years, also the Austria regional. Played in that the last 2 years as well. So Huffaluffagus with that's a board. So we'll see what Huff can do here. Kind of a diving board with a bunch of stuff on it. This is going to be tough. 549 for Tuggi, 487 for Huffaluffagus. And yeah, he's working it down. You know, just row by row. 10 lines to go until that 19 transition. That speed increase. Now just 3 floating Minos on the side there. That I've never seen a board look like that before. So congratulations, Huff. You've done something I've never seen. And one burn to go, and the board actually fairly reasonable now. And he's going to take that double, burning it away. 599 entry into 19 for Tugi. So just like 1,000 points shy of a 600K transition for Tugi. Huff is in also now at 511 through 138. So Huff going to survive just that crazy, bizarre looking board. Still not quite ready though to have a normal setup, but actually maybe going to try to build 4 dirty Tetrises. No, just going to take this down. 548 for Huff, 679 for Tugi. All right, Tugi with some kind of delayed burn setups here. Huff going column 4, gets a Tetris, 581. Tugi ahead by 100,000 points. And while Huff was playing up high, not out to too much of a line lead. They're just separated right now by, a couple lines. Actually, right now they're tied in lines. Tetris for Tugi on a good board gets set up again immediately, and another Tetris for Tugi. 755 for Tugi, 599 for Huffaluffagus. And Huff would love to get rid of that little gap in the stack, but he's going to work one row off the bottom. That S to the left does not get all the way over, and that is going to create some additional burning required for Huff to do to get out of this. Tugi, meanwhile, still super clean, 845 or 848 now through on level 25. Now, of course, we got 40 lines to go until 230 lines. That is where level 29 transition takes place. The speed is going to double. Then players will have 100 lines of that speed until the super kill screen kicks in. So really, just about 130 lines of usable, maybe usable if they can use it all. It's not trivial to play on 29 by any means. And Huff is set up for a one row off the bottom dirty Tetris in column 6 here on level 26. Trying to just keep it open. Long bar in Tetris Huff. And yeah, he's not taking triples. He is going for pace right now, trying to cut into that lead early. And another Tetris down the middle for Huff. He's going for it again on 28. Tetris for Tugi. Got the max out. Huff going for it again, and a Tetris into 29. So Huff with a bunch of dirty kind of center welly Tetrises on the way into 29 has cut this lead a bit, but it's still over a 200,000 point lead for Tugi. Okay, Huff gets a long bar over for a triple just to knock this stack back down. So the speed is now doubled. We're on level 30. There was a time when, only an actual handful of players, well, not, put players in your hands, but only a small number of players had even gotten to level 30, and now it's like all the time. All right, Huff is going to top out on level 31, and Tugi, you are good in game number 1. You can mullen it out a little bit if you want to. Another Tetris, Tugi. Huff says, forgot to say good luck, have fun, Tugi. Well, maybe that is related to your result in this game. You got cursed. Wait, there's a Tugi emote. Barrett has Tugi emotes. Oh, nice Tetris there for Tugi C66. All right, Tugi on the aggro mullen. This is game 1. Oh, yeah, this is only game 1. Tugi with the 1.35. And oh, yeah, this is going to break down. So that's going to be it. Chen is here. All right, new pieces for the players. And those pieces are going to be C8, 3-8, 5C. When did Tugi get this good at rolling? The whole time, man. Where you been, Josh? Yeah, Tugi's super clean on 29. And seems to be getting better all the time. Still working on it, Shen. Still working on it. All right, the pieces are here in the chat. C8385C. And those are 8s, not Bs players. C8385C. See there. Yep. Okay. It is game number 2. Both players have signaled ready, so let's get them started in game number 2. Tugi up 1-0, headed into game number 2. All right, starting off with the LISZT. It would have been cool LIS or LIZST because that's a composer. That would have been good. What, Hungarian Rhapsody? All right, so Tugi maintained a pretty big lead the entire way in game number 1. We'll see what happens here in game number 2 against the 2-time Masters champ. And the Honda Fan Cup. I mean, I forgot all about the Honda Fan Cup 2022. Now, why hasn't that come back? We need the Honda Fan Cup to come back. We need Honda to be sponsoring Tetris. All right, Tetris for Tugi, 80,000, 94,000 for Huffaluffagus. Acidic Ascetic is in chat. Chad Walbant is here. Jasmine is here. Hunting for Vits. Magnavox, Barrett, 3s, 2s, Tolstoy, Pines Cutely, Cousin Avi, Fancy Mimi, Mojo Monkey. Did Huff win an actual Honda? I don't think they gave away a Honda, but you would, or maybe they did. I don't know. I don't even know what the winner got, but it seems like if you're Honda and you're sponsoring a video game tournament, you should be giving away a Honda. I mean, they're pretty cheap for you. Zuli's here. Jesus the Frog. Anjing is here. Blithering Tripe is here. All the stars are here. 213 for Huffaluffagus. 220 for Tugi. So hello, YouTube. Lori, Josh, Neto, Marktris, Black Ops. The usual gang over there on YouTube. He's only got 50 to 100 people on YouTube watching, but it's pretty much like 10 people chatting. So if you haven't chatted before over on YouTube, chat today. I want to see some new names chatting, but only if you're gonna. I mean, God, why am I summoning YouTube people to chat? But but if you can say something nice or something at least neutral, then let's see some new chatters over on YouTube today. 311 for Huff, 289 for Tugi. All right, they're basically tied in score. You'll see that after Huff gets that Tetris. There it is. So they're basically tied in score, 1 line apart. Very, very close. Now, as far as Liquipedia is concerned, these two players have not played a match against each other, but you know, not every single match is on Liquipedia, so I'm very curious to see if they have played or if this is like, you know, new thing here. So let's check. No ELO matches. No, maybe they've played in a friendly. Yeah, I think this is a first-time match. Huffaluffagus versus Tugi. I don't see anything in the match database, so it looks like it's another Matchagami. Yeah, it's crazy for as long as these two have been around and how prolific they've been that they haven't made it. They haven't played against each other, so that's pretty crazy. Branches Jade is chatting, but I've seen you chat before. So when I was like, hey, one of you 67 people on YouTube who hasn't chatted before, go ahead and chat. Literally no new people chatted. Oh, you're very YouTube people very quiet. Maybe it's better to let sleeping dogs lie. 551 for Tugi, 529 for Huffaluffagus. Huff looking to uncover here. Just a few lines away from that 19 transition. Speed increase. Oh, nice little adjust for Huff to make room for that blue J. Zoltan is here. All right, Tugi into 19 with a pretty healthy transition. I mean, they're both tied, but that Spire for Tugi having to work around that. Actually set up now for a Tetris and gets it 605 for Tugi. And Huff with some work to do on this 19 board. Tugi setting up long bar, column 9, long bar over column 10, Tetris 631 for Tugi. Huff now flat and clean and Tetrising at 617. All right, Ferd Mertz, Trav Weave is chatting. Russell W is chatting now. Look at all these chatters. Russell says, I'm usually in Zen mode watching the Tetris. Got it. Makes sense. Well, maybe some people are asleep. They're falling asleep to it. It's soothing. My soothing voice. Oh my God. God help you if you try to fall asleep to this. 769 for Tugi, 730 for Huffaluffagus. Tetris is on level 23 where we're at now. Or we're 28,800, so it's about a one Tetris lead or so for Huff. And yeah, Tugi with that S piece gonna miss on that left side. He's gonna spin tuck it over there. Will leave one little gap, but that could have been so much worse. So Tugi with that fun spin tuck just to try to do something to rectify that situation over there. All right, 867 for Tugi, 850 for Huffaluffagus. Manny the Obius says, I'd rather chat on YouTube. Welcome, Manny Obius. Nickel Undertale is here. All the stars are here. Tetris for Huffaluffagus, 944 on 25, 930 for Tugi on 25. So Huff now in the lead. Tetris for Tugi in on 26. Tugi basically one away. And now with that double, I think a Tetris will... Yeah, here it is. And here is the max out for Tugi. A02 on 27. Huff with some gaps. Little down sacking to do. Board still low, though. And just trying to shuffle this whole thing around so we can start scoring again. Tugi's board getting up pretty high, but finds a couple of good pieces. So let's see if we can close this out and bring this down. Oh my goodness, that triple for Tugi. 2 burns to go for Tugi. Can he open up that right side? Can a bar get over? Yes, it can. Tugi going to bring this down to get one last Tetris. He's going to top out at A68. I mean, great survival up at the top there, but once 29 hit, it was really tough. Chase down target A69 for Huffaluffagus. A69 is the target. And so Huff with a lot of runway here and also a lot of experience. Just, perfect clear with a double. And also a lot of experience just playing, chase down Tetris single double on 29. Of course, Huff was involved in a historic game against Eric ICX when Eric set the level record in a CTM match in an uncapped game. Huff was the opponent and got pretty deep as well. A 51 for Huff. Oh no. So this is dire. And no, that is going to be a top out for Huff, and Tugi is going to survive. So Tugi did just enough. Huff could not complete the chase down despite stacking low and safe and just kind of spiraled. See, it's not a gimme. My word. So Tugi is good in game number 2. Fireworks is here. Javan T, Jade Hart, Ogre from MT. Welcome. So yeah, that Tetris at the end, clutch for Tugi, was that that was the difference. So yeah, Tugi with that Tetris like right after 29. Was it right after 29? Whatever. It was that was the difference. Crazy. All right, players, I'm going to go ahead and give you new pieces. You can, you can kind of do warm up if you want to. That's fine. 406914. 406914. Commodore Friday, tier 1 sub, 12 months overall. Thank you so much. I just saw my mouth move as if I was talking, but I didn't say anything spooky. All right, Tuggi, you're crazy. You can do it again anytime you want. You can like move your mouth around and then look at it a second later and then not say anything. I think you can. I think that's up to you. It's weird. All right, so Huff trying to work out some last minute kinks here on 29. Yeah, we're at 406914. Cousin Avi says, "Go Huff, you got this, man." So, Cousin Avi rooting for Huff. All right. It looks like both players are ready, so let's get them started while we can. Huff with the thumbs up. Feeling good. Going to try to win game number 3 and extend this match. Tugi would like to wrap it up right now against, of course, a dangerous opponent, a 2-time Masters event winner. Tugi 1 win away from clinching his first ever top 8 in a Masters event. All right, a couple Tetrises on the board for Huffaluffagus. There is the second one for Tugi as well. Tugi, of course, made his reputation as a DAS player, as the winner of one of those legendary CT DAS test tournaments back in 2022. And has several high finishes in DAS tournaments. But now, taking on rolling, and Tugi does seem to be, Really, every month that I see Tugi is a little bit cleaner, a little bit better. So, I don't know. Sky's the limit for Tugi. See what he can do here in game number 3. Huff, of course, the veteran, two-time champion. A lot of experience in these kind of situations. 140 for Huff, 121 for Tugi. All right, 169 Tugi, 186 for Huffaluffagus. As we get underway here in game number 3. Oh, was there a Vitz, Jasmine? I missed it. You know, sometimes I fantasize about just not having to run anything. I can just like sit here and there'll be a whole production booth and a director switching scenes and I don't have to do a single thing but stare at Tetris. I would love that to be a thing. Alas, I got to do everything. 303 for Huff, 284 for Tugi. Well, maybe we can cut some kind of deal with Red Bull or something. What would they pay me for? Oh, well, for my winning personality. All right, a skimming a Tetris for Tugi, 331, and another Tetris, 354. Huff gets one as well, and another 373. Tetris up 419, 400 for Tugi. Same line count, 19,000 point lead for Huffaluffagus. Tetris Tugi 423, 420 for Huffaluffagus. So these are excellent paces. You know, around 90 lines in the 400s. That's flat over there for Tugi. Yeah, he's just going to take the burn. Why not? All right, still about a 16,000 point lead. Yeah, it's crazy to me that these players have never played against each other before, or at least there's no recorded matchup. Maybe they've played in some friendly or something that wasn't on record, but there doesn't seem to be a record of these two having played. And, you know, they've been around for a while. I mean, Tugi was in, you know, CTWC in 2020 in the online years. So obviously been playing for at some point before that. And both of these players played in that as well. So yeah, it's just kind of weird they've never played each other. But then again, I guess Tugi's spending most of his time in the DAS world. And Tugi maybe not as voluminous. Oh, I wonder who has actually played more matches. Let's see. Tugi. Well, Tugi's got a lot of matches here. 386 matches in the database. And Huff with 397. So yeah, they're pretty darn equal. 639 transition for Huffaluffagus. That speed is increased. And 597 transition for Tugi. So very, very healthy transitions. Tetris for Tugi, 647. There's one for Huffaluffagus, 697. Vandy, what's your favorite pizza? Do you ever eat spinach one? Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's a pizza place nearby here in Austin called Home Slice, and they have a it's like a sausage, ricotta, and red pepper pizza, and that is one that I order if I get pizza. That is the one I'm craving. $7.80 for Huffaluffagus, $7.54 now, $7.81 for Tugi. And then what you do is you dump you dress a salad, and then you put it on top of the pizza, eat that salad off of there. And then it kind of gets some of the dressing onto the pizza, then you eat the pizza, and that is the way to go. $8.39 for Tugi, $8.38 for Huff. So super close in score, both just about that same line count. Huff going to get a Tetris. Tugi, $8.98, $8.70 for Huffaluffagus. Tetris for Huff, 900,000 for Tugi. They're separated by 180 points at the same line counts. All right. Both players with some cleanup to do. Relatively low on the board. Long bar down the middle is going to help Huff out a lot. Oh, Hector is here. Welcome, Hector. Dirty Tetris, Huffaluffagus, 3 rows off the bottom, column 10. And so now Tugi is out of the dig, and yeah, kind of a dependent board there, T-dependent. So no great place for squares. Long bar gets down for a Tetris for Tugi. Huff has got the max out, A20. Tugi is 1 away, but not quite ready. Another Tetris for Huff, A58. Tetris for Huffaluffagus, A92 now into level 28. 9 lines to go until the 29 speed increase. The speed is going to double. Tugi with a Tetris has the max out into 28. Tetris Huff B67 into 29. That's a 1.1 million. Tugi with a Tetris into 28. A78. That's a 1,078,000 for Tugi. But Tugi still trying to bring this down. Oh no, gonna miss with that S piece, and this board is spiraling. That is going to be a top out for Tugi at A90. Huff, you are good in game number 3. So, yeah, you are good. Zallo, what's your favorite pizza? Do I ever eat a spinach one? Yeah, I would, I guess. All right, Huff getting out. I didn't think Huff was going to get out of this, but Huff going to mullen it out. Try to get out of it, but no. All right, so Huff going to take game 3. Stay in this match. New pieces for the players have been delivered. 575F29. All right, looks like both players are ready. They're on seeds, and yeah, they are starting game 4. Tugi, 2 games to 1. Tugi still on match point. Spinach one for as long as they don't overdo the cottage cheese. Put cottage cheese on pizza? Do you mean ricotta? You wouldn't put cottage cheese on a pizza, right? That's runny. Or at least I don't know where you're from. Maybe that's common wherever you're from, but that does not sound appetizing. I mean, there's not a big, difference between cottage cheese and ricotta, but maybe they're the same thing, but variants of each other. I don't know. Ricotta, cottage cheese. I don't know. But I do like ricotta. I'm a big fan. Tugi setting up the Vits and fills it in. Beautiful Vits. Jasmine, I'm sure, likes it. What the could be? Don't know what the hell that white thing is. Yeah, it's ricotta cheese. Almost certainly. Tetris Tugi, 121. Tetris Huff, 82. Gets a Tetris 104, but has to use a square to cover a gap there. So just going to uncover that. All right, Tugi with the S spin. And Huff with the long bar over to the left, kind of diving board a little bit. That's okay. Tetris Huff 135, 191 for Tugi. Came here for the Tetris, stayed here for the Vandy cheese hot takes. These are not hot takes. I don't think saying that cottage cheese should not be on a pizza is a hot take. That is a very cool take. All right, Huff is open in column 3, 3 rows off the bottom for a Tetris. Has to take a triple, but still open for that. And we are getting droughted here. Players trying to survive. And long bars incoming. Tugi got 2 Tetrises off those bars. Huff got 1. And another instance of being a little bit delayed piecewise, so I had to make sure I didn't spoil the long bars. Barrett says, I don't want hot cottage cheese. Yeah, hot cottage cheese does not sound good. I mean, maybe there's some use for it. I know it's kind of a viral like TikTok ingredient the last year or so. So a lot of people doing stuff with cottage cheese recipes and things like that, but that does not sound good. Tetris for Hufflepuffus 232. 324 for Tugi. So about a 90,000 point lead for Tugi. But Tugi, slightly worse board than Huff has. Ricotta is good. They do put cottage cheese in lasagna? What? Really? What? That doesn't sound nice at all. As opposed to ricotta cheese? 314 for Huff. Doc Pie loves it. 363 for Tugi. People are like either or. This is totally new information. Cottage cheese in lasagna? Question mark. Oh my god. All right, I looked up recipes here. Lasagna, oh, dirty Tetris for Huff, 346, 422 for Tugi. Several of these recipes say the same thing, which is, oh, you don't even taste the cottage cheese. It's like they're apologizing for putting cottage cheese in the recipe. 372 for Huffaluffagus. So if it's an ingredient that several recipes are apologizing for, maybe it's not the best ingredient. All right, Tugi going for it here. 451. Now 476 on level 20. Guys, it's just the Masters top 16. So, we're just going to look up cottage cheese lasagna recipes. No problem. What? This is normal. Tetris for Tugi, 531. 430 for Huffaluffagus. All right, Tetris is for both. 591 for Tugi, almost a 100,000 point lead. All right, Tetris, Tugi, Tetris, Huff. Still about 100,000 point lead, 97,000 points ahead or so for Tugi. Level 24 for Huff. Tetris for Tugi, 709. Oh, Huff with a square spire. This is tricky business. And Tugi, kind of tricky business right here as well. So both players in digs. This could be the moment of the match. Tugi bringing his down. Huff bringing his down. And quick bar for Tugi would really help out a lot, but has to cover that right side. Oh no, oh no, just a bunch of bars in a row. Like, is that like three or four bars in a row or something like that? So chase down target for Huff is 729. That is the target. Yeah, we know it wasn't a delayed with bits. Has anyone here had Hot Pockets? Chen, they're like one of the most popular junk foods. Yeah, I'm sure someone among the 200 people watching has had a Hot Pocket. 729 for Huffaluffagus. One more Tetris would do it. And yeah, Huff is good with the chase down here, and we are going to a decider. And I think it is a reverse decider situation here. Huffaluffagus says 2016 tier match. Yeah, 737 and 728. This is totally like CTWC 2016. Miles says, can someone boost CTM twice on Discord so we can get back to level 3? Yeah, I mean, for real. Well, here's what's happening, Miles. I think people are taking their boosts that they were going to have on CTM and boosting Katsugiri's server so they can get things like, server tags. So, yeah, there's the boost economy in Classic Tetris Monthly is a very, very tight market. So we're feeling the effects. 497E36. Both players are ready. It is game number 5. It's a decider. The winner goes to the top 8. It's going to be Huff or Tugi. Let's get them counted down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. We should blame Crinkle. No, don't blame Crinkle. Crinkle is allowed to run a server and have a nice server and community. There's no blame. We just got to be better. One of the things that I don't like about Discord Nitro and Boost system is like if one thing, like you have a custom server URL if you're tier 3 Discord server, like boosted with 14 boosts. But if you drop it, then you lose your URL and someone else can take it from you. So how are you supposed to like do anything with like branding or anything permanent, any permanent assets with your Discord like server URL? It is ridiculous to make it tied to like people boosting it and it gets unboosted. It's really stupid. Like, can I just buy that for a monthly amount rather than I have to cajole people into, oh, you must get this thing from Discord and then you must apply like it's ridiculous. $138 for Tugi, 118 for Huffaluffagus. I mean, I guess I can just buy more boosts or something. I don't know. It's just a dumb system. Like, can I just pay for the features that I want rather than, you know, being shunted over to the boost economy? You can buy boosts. Like, yeah, I just want to buy the feature. There's a boost tariff war incoming, maybe. Well, it is a decider right now between Tugi and Huffaluffagus. 218 for Huff, 253 for Huff. Tugi was up 2-0 in this match. Now it is tied. So Tugi looking to close this out. Get a top 8 berth. Huff looking to do some damage in this tournament. Maybe try to get back into the semis and finals. Get a shot at another title. You can pay $15 a month to get your own personal tag on Discord. I mean, that's just $15 to have a little graphic next to your name. I mean, it's just so weird. I guess people do that on Twitter. Tetris for Huff, 356, 334 for Tugi. Yeah. Well, I'm saying, not saying you're doing it, but it just seems like a lot. In this economy, you get other things on Twitter. Yeah, you get to post longer posts and you can monetize and things like that. 403 for Tugi, 406 for Huffaluffagus. No, they've got you locked in, right? On Discord, like you get, we've had a server over there since before I was around, and now we're locked in. What are you gonna do? Like say, we're just abandon this server with years and years of history and memories, and like, yeah, no, you're locked in. 454 for Huff through 98, 472 through 72. What? For Tugi. Chen says, I'd rather spend the money for a tier 3 sub on monthly Tetris. Yeah, I agree. That wouldn't be bad, actually, a tag system on Twitch. I mean, if people are going to pay for a little graphical pixels next to their name, if you're going to do it, let's do it on Twitch. Why not? Let's go for it. That way you can, I guess emotes are that, where you can rep your favorite channels that way. 543 for Tugi, 545 for Huff, so still pretty darn close. Yeah, just 2,000 apart. Same line count. All right, still really close, just a few lines away from 19, and long bar is a little hard to come by. Nice little spin there for Tugi, a tuck, and a Tetris for Tugi. Both players on 600K transitions. At left side for Huff, going to be a little tough with that Z. And now he's going to find some burns here. And really, Tugi and Huff almost on like identical down stacks here. Although Huff's is starting to climb a little bit. He's built up very much on the right side. And he's bringing it down. And Tugi is open and gets the Tetris 661. Huff's board kind of just treading water. A little bit of that left side is going to be cut off for Huff. And Huff is going to top out at 635. And Tugi will be moving on to the top 8 of Masters for the first time in his Masters career. Hufflepuffus, you played a great game. You were down 2-0, came roaring back, taking 2 in a row. But it is this young upstart Tugi who will be moving on. So GG's to you, Hufflepuffus. GG's Tugi. We'll watch you take a victory lap here. And we have 2 more matches today. Hope to see you again, Huff. Always a pleasure, of course. And yeah, I love the jammies. So, well, Tugi's just like, yeah, I was topping out anyway, but yeah, it's no big deal. I won. Whatever. All right, let's get that 3 right next to your name. There you are. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so Huff, you are dismissed. Tugi, you must stick around. I guess it's not too late over there, so not a big deal. But yeah, we're gonna play another match. It's gonna be, oh my god, why do I forget who it's gonna be? Yeah, it's gonna be Andy versus Knight, the pink top 16, and then the winner of that will take on Tugi. So let me go ahead and set this up real quick. I do need to just take a moment. So goodbye, Huff. We're gonna miss you. There's Knight, and then we're gonna get Andy, and then we'll fix all the cams, and we will be good. Let's fix all the cams up here. What am I doing? I can't hit. All right, here we are. I'm fixing cams, guys. All right, cam. Oh my god, what is wrong with my computer? There it is. And we'll flip Knight around. All right, we're flipping. All right, we're lining everything up. We're feeling good. Okay. There we go. Edward says cottage cheese does not go in lasagna. That's what I'm saying. All right, so I'm going to set up these cams, and then I'm going to take a quick, 90-second break or something for, you don't need to know why. I'm a person. All right, let me then refresh Andy. I'm sure Andy will be right here. All right, Andy is live. But let me fix stencil. I wonder if I can use the same stencil that he had yesterday. Hold on. Let's see. I can copy. See, it's a different thing because it's Masters. Copy. What was he? Seed 4? And then can I apply that to seed 11 here? Let's see if it works. This would be amazing if this actually works. Paste transform. Ready? Paste. All right, that did nothing. All right, I gotta fix Andy stencil. And it would be great if you could find a way to maintain that stencil even when your computer crashes. That would be cool. Oh wait, that is not what we wanted to do. There's that. What are we looking at? Yeah, this is the one. So it's 11. Why? What is this that is moving? This should not be moving. What is this? Oh, there's all these other... Okay, that should be Andy now. I quit, guys. Is it okay? Can I quit? Have I done enough to cement my legacy here in the classic Tetris community? I think I've done enough. I'll leave behind a good... If I quit today, I'll have a good legacy, you know? All right, what is this now? Okay. All right, and then... All right, this should be good enough. Okay. Then game 2, that is a big camera. That's big Andy right there. All right. All right, we're fixing cams. There's that guy. There's that. And then, all right, so probably going to be just about right there. Then here's the big secret for immersion. We have the upper, turn that color, the color of his wall. And then this, I don't know, I guess we'll turn it the color of his bookshelf. There we go. Oh my God, wow. Stencil crash out when? Nah, this is my job in life right now. What is night? Seed, shoot. I just want to fix a little stencilage over here at 6. Just a little bit. That's good enough. All right, I do need a minute, players, so you guys can warm up for another 90 seconds. So if you could just bear with me, I would appreciate it. I'll drop you some pieces. And I'll be right back. All right, I am back, players. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh your streams, make sure that they are, you know, kind of relatively simultaneous, so it's going to be 6 and 11, right? All right, we got chair stream, guys. It is chair time. All right, chair on chair crime. Is there anything worse? All right. See what you've done, everyone. You've driven me to drugs. It's another Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar. Would love to see some fresh funds go into the prize pool. We are sitting at $1,199.99. If we get to $2,000, we can pay the top 8. That is our goal every single month. Would love to be able to do that. So, yeah, it's a super important way to keep the players coming back and, reward them for their effort to keep their Tetris skills sharp and keep playing in these tournaments. So use the Match Arena command if you're watching live here on Twitch. Bring up the links. Thank you, Jasmine. Appreciate that. All right. Well, the pieces are here. I feel like I am ready to play Tetris. 0E3073. 0E3073. The players should be grateful, says Tetris. Yeah, I mean, they'd be more grateful for 2,000, though. And they would come back. All right. So 0E3073. As soon as we got 2 ready players, we can go ahead and get underway. Oh, we just had a $5 contribution from Jasmine. Thank you, Jasmine. Really appreciate that. Dano22222 with the super chat says, "Go Andy." Thank you for the 2222 Canadian super chat. All right, looks like both players are ready. Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event, pink bracket, top 16. The winner will face Tugi in the top 8. Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, thanks again, Jasmine. 3, 2, 1 countdown bits from Army of Markness. Appreciate that. And again, Dano, thank you for the super chat. $22.22 Canadian. On the left side of your screen, it is who? It is Knight. Seed number 6 qualified in with a 1.51 million. That was the average of her best 2 games played in a 60-minute qualifying period. In virtue of that, top 6 seed, this is Knight's first match in this month's tournament. Army of Markness, $5 contribution into the prize pool. So Knight, yeah, this is Knight's first match in this month's tournament. Players who finish in the top 8 in qualifying get a 2-round bye and get an automatic berth into the top 16. That's a big incentive. Knight is a Canadian, so if you are compiling a list of Canadians for whatever reason, Knight is on that list. Knight's got a PB of 3.49 million, which is good for about 23 on the overall PB leaderboard. If it's a different one than that, then I don't know, but I just go by what I have. Anyway, Knight was ranked number 17 in the most recent Premier poll. That is a ranking of a poll done of Tetris broadcasters and journalists and tournament organizers and other smart people. I'm the commentator one. I'm not on the smart people list. I just go, well, you're CTM, you probably have to include you. But anyway, Knight was ranked number 17 in the most recent Premier poll. 190 here for Knight, 175 for Andy. This is Knight's 8th appearance in the Masters event. Knight has finished as high as top 16 and did that most recently in Mega Masters 2025. And Knight overall a 2-time Mega Masters participant. Also won a Future Circuit back in February. A 3-time participant in CTWC Gold Bracket. Was 10th in the Jonas Cup, that's CTWC's North American DAS Championship, and was 3rd at the Genesis DAS Tournament this year as well. That is Knight. On the right side of your screen, Pixel Andy, who's at 269 right now. Knight with a couple of dirty Tetrises, 311. Pixel Andy had to win his way into the top 16. Did that by defeating Chroma in round 2. He's seeded into 11th in the qualifying with a 1.42 million from the United States with an overall PB of 11.96 million. That is good for 6th on the list. Pixel Andy is ranked 20 in the most recent Premier poll. He's a 4-time CTM Masters event winner. This is Andy's 41st appearance in Masters, if you can believe that. That is absolutely nuts. Has been in Mega Masters 4 times, finishing as high as a top 8, which he did in 2023 and 2024. 427 for Knight, 387 for Pixel Andy. Pixel Andy also a 5-time DAS Masters champion. He's in the semifinals again this month. Also picked up a Challenger circuit back in March of 2020. 6-time CTWC gold player. Was runner-up in 2020, top 4, 21, 2022, and 4th in the DAS Jonas Cup last year. Back-to-back winner of the Waco Regional. All right, 418 for Pixel Andy, 474 for Knight. All right, Pixel Andy uncovers that right side well, taking some burns here. That square is going to help a lot. Andy uncovers, yeah, that Z vertical didn't quite work. Then it's going to give Andy, oh my God, Andy some additional work to do to burn this down. Vandy. What the heck? 570 for Knight, 453 for Pixel Andy, A-N-D-Y, and Dweller. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, Knight just one line away and gets the Tetris into 19, 617 transition for Knight. Another Tetris 641. Andy is in at 481. Andy took some time off from open tournaments to concentrate on DAS, but, you know, was played the last few months of our Masters and Mega Masters event. Also played in CTWC. You can see right now Andy rolling here on 19. 562 for Pixel Andy, 680 for Knight. Do a lot of players knuckle roll? Oh, yeah, that's something to mention. I think Pixel Andy is knuckle rolling, if I remember correctly, which is just like regular rolling, but it's instead of, you know, kind of rolling your fingers, you kind of make a fist and then you use the bump. You kind of roll your fist along the edge of the controller and it kind of bumps along, which is crazy. But it's probably more ergonomic. It's probably less likely to lead to injury, although I don't know, maybe you get scraped knuckles or calluses on your knuckles. I don't know. No matter what you're going to do, Tetris is going to hurt, guys. That's what it comes down to. 790 for Knight, 685 for Pixel Andy. That T is not going to get all the way to column 3, so that's going to put some gaps in Andy's stack. Knight at 802, Andy 721, but Knight with a clean board, a skimming a Tetris for Knight 836. Tetris for Knight 901. 737 for Andy, who's still trying to bring some order to this board. We do have one more match in this broadcast, by the way, because the winner of this will take on Tugi, who's already punched his ticket into the top 8. Tetris for Pixel Andy, 805. Another one for Andy, 838. There's one for Knight. She's got the max out on 28. Tetris for Knight into 29 at A54. Going to take an immediate triple just to knock this stack back down to safety. Pixel Andy at one time was the score world record holder at 8.9 million. Now the score world record is 29.4 million. I mean, it's just insane. Tetris for Knight, B27, 893 for Andy. One burn to go till 29. Oh, that left side. Let's see what Andy can do. Can he bring this down? And yeah, no, that is going to do it for Andy in game number 1. Knight, you are good. Oh, I'm not sure why the website isn't working. Is the website down? Possibly. Yeah, it's been doing that lately. I'm going to be revamping the website real soon now. Quote, real soon now. So Knight going to take a little victory lap here. But yeah, it's this Mullen not going to turn into anything, so Knight will top out. New pieces for the players. F3 for ACE, F3 for ACE. Jasmine, thanks for the pin. Really appreciate the pins this stream. So yeah, not only is there one more match after this one in this broadcast, there's 2 more broadcasts today. I mean, Tetris never restrous. It is, yeah, there's the, orange bracket. That is happening. Who's that? Miles, Wallbant, and Dog. That's going to be later this afternoon around dinner time here in Texas. Supper time, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. What do you call it? Dinner, supper, whatever. In New England, we call it supper time. Ma, what's for supper? We're having con. Oh, thanks, Ma. I'm down cellar. But anyway, we have that. The orange bracket. And then after that, another top 16 bracket. It's going to be blue-purple bracket as well. No one under 55 calls it supper. Well, you're thinking of cosmopolitan, people there at Tetris. Is probably people in there's probably people calling it that. I call it dinner. Supper is later. Well, why do people have dinner parties at night? You don't have a supper party. You know? Dinner parties happen at night. All right, F34ACE. Andy getting some warm-ups in. I don't know. I mean, yeah, obviously it's a regional kind of thing. Supper is a small meal right before bed. That's the worst time. Right when your metabolism is at its lowest. Yep, chuck some more food in there. Makes sense. I mean, I do it. Oh, Andy. Oh, my goodness. Some states call lunch dinner and dinner supper. Yeah, it's... Well, I grew up in New England, and we ate supper. And we ate, breakfast, lunch, and supper. All right, at some point, we're going to get two players who are ready at the same exact time. That is what I am hoping for. Sometime. That is what I am hoping for. That two Tetris players want to play Tetris at the exact same time. That would be amazing. Can I click this pen into the microphone? Oh my God, they're both ready. They're both on seed, and I am starting them right now. Basically, as soon as we get the readies, the game is starting. There it is. Game number 2, Knight versus Pixel Andy. Oh my goodness, we started off with the ISIS opener. My goodness. Maybe, isn't there like a sound that like malls, like shopping malls play to get rid of teenagers? Derek IRL just subbed on Twitch. Maybe what I need to do is I need to find that sound, older people can't hear it. But if I find that sound, maybe if I play it and don't stop it until the players are ready, maybe that would get them ready a little bit earlier. Derek IRL says, CTM is a pillar of the Tetris community. Thanks for all that you do. Oh, thank you, Derek IRL. Well, wouldn't be able to do it without all of you guys, so back at you, but thank you. Phone alarm sound? Well, they could just mute it, I mean, not everybody listens to the stream or the commentary, but... All right, Tetris for Knight, 83,117 for Pixel Andy. Tetris for Knight, 131. Pixel Andy is already in the semifinals of Das Masters, looking to make another run, add to his 5 Das Masters championships. No, thank Black Ops, but I get plenty of credit. Don't worry. I don't need credit. I just like doing this, I love doing this. That is enough. 184 for Knight, 237 for Pixel Andy. Dirty Tetris Andy, 283, 229 for Knight. Knight will be, Andy will be one of the players going to Germany to play in CTWC DAS. That's in like 3 weeks. I would love to know if any other North American players are going. There's Pixel Andy will be going, Meme, Fractal, Blue Scooty. I'd like to see if a lot more North American players are going so that we have a chance to win. Listen, I'm going to root for my continent. Oh, thank you, Chen. Really appreciate that. You're thinking of going for fun, Jasmine? Nice. Meme will win it all. It's possible. Maybe she was what, third? In Jonas Cup? And I think won her first match in DAS Masters. That was yesterday, right? 399 for Knight through 98, 405 for Pixel Andy through 91. Yeah, it's crazy, but Meme I don't think had won a match in DAS Masters until yesterday. $444 for Knight, $433 for Pixel Andy. So Knight able to get into a lead, but also ahead in lines by a little bit. So maybe Pixel Andy with a little bit of a pace advantage. That makes me feel so much better. Thanks, Vandy. Oh, sorry, Vice Prot. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to see like I want to see that event have the highest level of DAS competition so that, you know, as many great players from around the world can go. $565 for Knight, $554 for Pixel Andy. Knight on 19, piled high in column 10. All right, finds that L for the left. And a Tetris for Knight, $599, $605 for Andy. Still on 19. $636 for Knight, $734 for Pixel Andy. So all of a sudden, Pixel Andy up by almost 100,000 points and also back by about 11 lines. So about 60 lines left to play with until 29, and then that speed increase will hit. And then they'll have 100 more lines of the very highest speed, and that is not a gimme. Players can play pretty comfortably on 19, and they can play on 29, but it is not always comfortable and not guaranteed that they can use all 100 lines. Cousin Ivy says Germany is lovely, especially this time of year. Would recommend. Oh, the spin for Knight to open up the right and get a long bar down. 768. There's one Andy, 857. Russell Wareham says Fractal's controller technique is baffling. He makes it work, though. Oh, you're talking about DAS. Yeah. I don't know. Try it. It feels good. It's actually very intuitive. You don't feel like you're doing any weird remapping in your head if you actually try it. Or at least I don't. I've played a similar controller grip in the past. We did it at the Lone Star event back in, what, 2024? Or was it 2023? I don't remember when it was. 2024. Yeah, even before Jonas Cup, when Fractal won the tournament with a similar grip. 918 for Knight, 9 lines away from 29. And Andy is up by about 140,000 points. Knight gonna open up that right side, get a long bar down to the right, and all of a sudden that board looks a lot better very quickly for Knight. Andy's board, we'll see what he can do with it. Long bar gets in B07. Knight with the triple 985. And Pixel Andy is in. He's at B14 on 29. Knight ahead by 12 lines. Board climbing a little. She's bringing it down. Set up for a Tetris. Gets a bar over. Tetris for Knight. A40. B36 for Andy. All right, Knight chopping this board down. Waiting out a bar. The bar not coming. And that is going to be a top out for Knight. And Pixel Andy will take game number 2 and tie it up. Can I have like 2 minutes to try and sort your controller out? Of course you can. Yes, of course. We'll watch Andy mulling it out here. All right. The upcoming schedule, let us take a look. Right now we're playing the thing at the top of the list, but the next thing is going to be at 6 p.m. Central Time. That should be at 2300 UTC. It's going to be Orange, Round 1, Round 2, Miles, Wallbant, and Dog. And then pretty much immediately after that, or maybe might even be delayed depending on how deep those games go. There's just going to be 2 matches in that orange. It's going to be a whole other top 16 bracket. Alex T, Hydrant, Tetris Time, and Blue Scooty. How am I going to do this? I've completed 1 match already. I'm exhausted, but apparently I have this one and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go. We can do this, guys. Why are there 5 players in the 8 Central? Oh, because I put the space between Blue and Scooty. Yeah. All right, we'll fix it. I'm going to fix it. I'll fix it. There you go. Look at that. It's fixed. Is the Bears event real? Yes, it is real. It is a real event. You stripped a screw. Oh, boy. That's good. You'll just play it out. Yeah, we got to get Knight like 7 controllers. 7 reasonable controllers would be good. All right, I'm going to put the pieces in the chat. It has been 3 minutes, so I am going to put the pieces in the chat, and when you're ready, you can put them in. That would last her like 2 whole weeks. Yeah, maybe. Every other day. It is a real event, guys. So I don't know if people aren't learning Bear Game or refreshing on Bear Game, they better. They better do it. All right, I'm going to read a book. Ah, interesting, yes. You can't screw it back? Do you have like a large binder clip? Maybe you can clip it together with a big binder clip or something. Read The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. It's an amazing book. I remember selling that book when I worked in a bookstore in the early 2000s. And I have no idea what it's about. I do know that that title is a reference to a Sherlock Holmes story, though. That was the one where something like, oh, they knew that the person must be familiar because the dog didn't bark. The curious incident is that the dog didn't bark, so they knew that it was. Oh, it was the one where they. What's the one where they? Well, I don't know if you guys know the Holmes stories very well, but the one where the person stole the prize racehorse. Anyway. All right, well, we are back after our 2-minute break. I'm just kidding. All right, the pieces are here, players. The pieces are here. No, are they? Did I not give us new pieces? I thought I did. Did I not give us new pieces? All right, well, I'm going to give pieces. Here are the pieces. $4D0962. $4D0962. Controller issues wouldn't exist if we all dasked. Is that true? I don't know. That's not true at all. My controller is my main problem. I would have maxed 1,000,000 times for my controller, right? I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know, maybe you can staple your controller together or no? If you have controller issues with DAS, that's cope. That's not true at all. Tetris, you are trolling. Like literally, I have a controller that, misses or double taps direct rotational inputs. Happens all the time. Can you tape it together? Yeah, do you have tape? Like some clear tape and you can just wrap it around it and then cut it later. Like you can take tape and like maybe wrap it or like wipe it around or tape it like around the perimeter of the controller. I don't know, along the seam. Why do controller issues exist in the first place? Because of the materials and the tolerances. They loosen up over time with continued use, and then it kind of changes the feel of the controller, then the materials degrade with use, like the rubber pad and things like that. All right, it's game 3. Padless is the future. Yeah, I keep hearing that. I hope it is. I'm waiting for him. All right, looks like both players are ready. So what was once a best of 5, now a best of 3 between Pixel, Andy, and Knight. Let us get them started. We had some more contributions to the prize pool, I believe. And yeah, so we had Jasmine kick in 5, Army of Markness, and we have $30 from Cousin Avi. So thank you, Cousin Avi. Really appreciate that. It's going to take us up to $1,239.99 into that prize pool. If you're watching live, use the Matcherino command and you can contribute to the prize pool. Just click on the link for the tournament you want to support, and you'll be taken over to the landing page for that tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. They are legit. Matcherino takes a small little fee for providing the service. We are happy for them to do that. They provide a great service. Believe me, I wouldn't want to sit here and collect funds and distribute them. I mean, my God, it would be a hassle. So it's definitely a great service. And then, you know, with the small little fee that they take after that, 100% of the funds go to the players. 91,000 for Knight, 94,000 for Pixel Andy. Steel CE says, wait, so keyboard is an advantage because there's no controller issues. So yeah, keyboards will tend to be a little more reliable. You won't run into the same kind of issues, but the proof is in the pudding, right? And you know, where are the keyboard champions? Where are they? So I tend to think it is not an advantage in the aggregate, because where are they? You'd think if it were an advantage, everybody would immediately switch over and just win Masters every single month, but they don't. 230 for Knight, 190 for Pixel Andy. Tommy NTG's in the USA somewhere. I hope that you know, there are people that are making padless controllers or working on this as a product, which will use keyboard switches instead, which should be much more reliable. I hope it is usable in CTWC because I know they have an official controller sponsor, and they've written the brands of the controller into the rules. The original rules CTWC used to say, we'll see, 345 here for Knight, 262 for Andy. Used to say, you know, an original NES controller or a faithful replica, but now it says an original controller or like a Hyperkin Cadet or a this or that, and I'm like, wait a minute, or a Goofy Foot. But I don't know if I saw anything like a faithful replica, so I'm curious if that means. Now maybe I didn't read it carefully, but I hope that these new controllers are usable, because that is the one thing that our scene really needs, is reliable controllers. 414 for Knight, 332 for Pixel Andy. Hana says they basically banned padless specifically without saying it. You mean like with just by specifying those controllers? Gotta, you know, I think that maybe they don't know about it, or if they do know about it, that would be ridiculous. I think as long as it looks pretty much like an NES controller and doesn't have any cheat tech involved, as long as it's pretty much the same thing, even if the dimensions aren't exactly right, it should be allowed. I got to admit, I think it's kind of bullshit. All right, Tetris here for Knight, 555 through 106. That is big pacing for Knight right now. $474 for Pixel Andy. The thing about Padless is that it's behind an expensive paywall and isn't super available. Well, it will become more available when it's actually released. It's not really released. There's a couple of people that have it because they're making it, but I would assume it would be more available. And so what? Like, yeah, you might want to buy a better controller. And yeah, it costs money. People have to make it. All right, Knight with an odd-looking board here going into 29, but able to get a Tetris. There's, I think, a split double there and another Tetris. So 646 for Knight on 19, 561 for Pixel Andy. They're 10 lines apart and about 80,000 points difference. You think it's officially released, it might get allowed? I hope so. I know they've had a long relationship with Hyperkin, and maybe that will inform their what are allowed. I don't know. I hope not. 615 for Pixel Andy, 681 for Knight. All I know is they never specified a brand of controller and just said faithful replica, but now they literally just put brand and model numbers of controller in the rules. $692 for Knight. Tetris for Pixel Andy, $675. You think if Goofy Foot is allowed, anything should be allowed? I mean, yeah. You've said something there, Tetris. I agree. Well, hopefully by CTWC next year, that'll be clarified. Pixel Andy 738, 821 for Knight. Well, you can use padless in CTM. It's a controller. Knight 856, 772 for Pixel Andy. Hana says only official Nintendo hardware should allow for a Famicom keyboard setup. Yeah, right? I would love it if someone would bring Famicom keyboard to CTWC and see what happens. Tetris for Pixel 80, 874, 953 for Knight. All right, Chen saying is specific calculator wasn't allowed for the SAT. Okay. Probably because it can store certain things that it doesn't want you to have available during the test, I'd imagine. 973, or is it because they have a relationship with, you know, Texas Instruments or something? A07 for Pixel Andy, that is a max out. A93 for Knight, that is also a max out. And a 1.1 into 29 for Knight. Pixel Andy, 16 lines back, though. So we'll see if he can get the 1.1 as well. Well, let's see. Won't quite be able to get there. But one more Tetris would give him a high 1 million. Yeah, A91 for Andy into 29. He's got the 1.1 now, though. C22 for Knight, who's trying to bring this board down. Okay, there's a great piece for the right side, filling out the left. Andy with a good board here, waiting on a bar, but that's gonna block the well on the right. Knight bringing this board down. Andy's right side is gonna be trouble. And no, that's a top out for Andy. He tops out at B55, and Knight is good. Bad controller and all at C49 on 33. So Knight, you are good, and you have taken game number 3, and you're going up 2 games to 1. All right, players, I'm going to drop new pieces in the chat. The pieces are there. CE D4 FD Charlie Echo Delta 4 Foxtrot Delta. Hello, A Peach Trees. Sonder. Pixies Pud. K Taco. Hunterage. Welcome to the chat and the stream today. Z Oblivious Z. Welcome to the chat. Liliana rooting on Knight. Mr. Burrow, Tim Yang. Welcome to YouTube chat. All right, the pieces are here. CE D4 FD Charlie Echo Delta 4 Foxtrot Delta. All right, one player is ready. As soon as both players are ready, I'm going to put my finger is hovering over this countdown button. Vandy, what's your PB? 849,320. CE D4 FD CE D4. Okay. All right, looks like both players are ready. Knight versus Pixelandy, game number 4. We are getting underway. Knight looking to wrap this up now. Pixelandy looking to win to force a deciding game number 5. According to my research, Knight has never been in the top 8 of the Masters event. Looking to do that for the first time. I'm going to verify that, though. I think that is true. And if she can get in there, she'd join Tugi as a first-time top 8er. And yeah, that is true according to the internet, and which is never wrong. All right, 68,000 for Knight. 91,000 for Pixelandy. Of course, Pixelandy has been to the top 8 many times as a 4-time Masters event winner, and in his 41st overall Masters event. He's been in the semis or higher 21 times, with 4 wins, 4 runner-ups, and 13 semifinals finishes. So over half the time in the past, Pixelandy has made it to the semis or higher. Now, of course, a lot of those were in the top 16. Were in the 16-player Masters era, so it's a little bit trickier now to compare those eras. But yeah, we're gonna do it anyway. Just gloss over the differences. It doesn't matter. 132 for Knight, 209 for Pixelandy. Oh, that L piece to the left isn't going to work, but an L spin is going to help out. All right, and Knight is going to skim away the cover on the well as Tetris Ready gets a Tetris 207, 213 for Pixel Andy. What's up, Chess? Luis Pereira is here. Welcome. Tetris for Knight 253, 242 for Pixel Andy. All right, Tetris for Knight 276. Now in a score lead. Andy's going to take it back, though. But Knight ahead by 9 lines. All right, Andy going to uncover that right side well. And Tetris for both. 347 for Knight, 315 for Andy. Still that 9-line difference, though. With Knight out in front in lines. S-spin for Knight. Filling out the board. Getting Tetris ready. And getting another Tetris. May I ask who has the most consecutive Masters appearances? Yeah, my guess would be Dog. He has the most appearances overall, I think, this month with 52nd appearance at T for Andy. Not laying exactly right. That's going to cause some gaps in the stack. $434 for Pixel Andy. And Knight's board on the left side looking a little cray-cray, may I say. All right, I may not say that ever again, actually. Yeah, the left side of that board, just all kinds of crazy piling high. 503 for Andy, 471 for Knight. All right, oh, these 3 long bars. Oh, Knight going to use it to fill out that right side. I thought she was going to use it to kind of bring that middle down. All right, into 19, Knight at 485, kind of a high board still. Oh, that right side could use something. All right, she's going to open up the right. Okay, she's chopping it down. So the survival here for Knight. Kind of a hero dig. Oh, that L to the left is not going to get all the way over, but she can get a bar over. And this looks like it's coming down. And the right side is open. It's not going to be a Tetris, but it will bring the stack down considerably. And Knight is back down to safety now, working 1 row off the bottom and getting a dirty Tetris. 542 for Knight, but 653 for Pixel Andy. And we still have 1 more match to go after this somehow. All right, Andy with the pullback of the bar to burn away that square because he didn't have a good place to put the square. All right, Tetris Andy 797. Knight 616. And 8 lines ahead. Knight. Gaps in the stack. Long bar down Tetris and brings some pressure off that stack a bit. She can go to work fixing this. And another Tetris for Knight 681. Andy up by over 140,000 points. Can attack on another Tetris, and he's also behind in lines. Which sounds bad, but is good. Tetris for Andy, 923. And Knight still fighting this down. Andy, 926 on 25. 701 for Knight on 27. So, 230 lines, that's where level 29 speed kicks in. There'll be 100 more lines available for these players to score if they can use them. And it's over it's a 270,000 point lead right now. All right, Knight is into 29 at 768. So, I mean, back in the day, that would have been, oh my God, you got to 29. Now it's a little bit of a suffer. So, see what Knight can do to try to get some of this, cut into this lead that Andy has. Andy with the Tetris B26 into 29, another 1.1 into, and that left side for Knight. Yeah, that is going to be a top out. So, Andy, you are good in game number 4, and we are tied 2 games apiece. All right, so Andy going to do a maxi mullen here, which, yeah, I mean, if some score or pace records aren't really on pace here, I would love to be able to try to minimize mullins at this point because we are running really far behind just because of some of the delays and issues. So if we could maybe not have them. Okay. All right, so Pixel Andy going to tie it up, and we are headed to a decider. We need an old school Legends tournament, says Haterade. Well, if you can get the old school Legends to learn how to stream to Twitch and to have the desire to do that, then I am all in favor of that. There is one at CTWC. There was one last year at Jonas Cup with some legends there from the golden era of the Tetris scene. And it was fun, but all too short. The tournament was too short. It was kind of just a fun tournament. Okay, the pieces are here. E18C60. Legends was fun and not very exciting. Yeah, it was a bit of a letdown, I think, just in terms of the competition, but it was fun to see the players play against each other. I hope they can build that a little bit more and get more people to show up to Jonas Cup. Vandy, did you see my message about appearances in a row in Masters? I did not do that. Let me get this tournament going while I can, and then I will scroll back up and read your comment. All right, it is best of one now. Knight and Pixel Andy. The winner of this match will go to the top 8 in 3-2-1 Tetris. Let's see. Black Ops. I'm scrolling up. Vandy, I'm pretty sure Scooty has played every event November 2023 to this month. Dog has a 1 month shorter streak as he missed November of 23. Okay. I will do some investigation here and find out the streaks officially. All right, we are underway in game number 5, Knight versus Pixel Andy. Andy trying to fight his way back, have a chance at another Masters event win. The last time Andy won this event was back in August of 2023. Knight trying to punch her ticket to the top 8 for the first time. And it's all going to come down to this one game. 153 for Knight, 124 for Pixel Andy. Maybe Miles? Miles had a long streak from August of 2023 until today, until this month, still going. Miles has played every month since August of 2023. So it's possibly Miles. 178 for Pixel Andy. Kind of a messy little board here. But bringing it down, still a lot of little, it's like a little shadow J in the stack. All right, Andy bringing it down, 194 for him, 298 for Knight. All right. Oh, Knight is going to miss with that T, but gets an instant long bar to fix it. And it's set up for a dirty Tetris. Try not to overcommit here, but does get the dirty Tetris. Knight 329. 228 for Pixel Andy. You're shocked that Dog doesn't have the longest streak? Yeah, he's got the most appearances, what, 50? This month is 52. Well, another misdrop for Knight. Now that could be cleared away fairly efficiently. But yeah, it's going to cause like 3-4 extra burned lines. You meant overall, not current. Yeah, but what I'm saying is I think Miles's might be the longest, current or otherwise. I mean, go try to find one longer than Miles. August till today. All right, triple for Knight, 390, 320 for Andy. So he's been able to close the gap a little bit. Both players are on clean boards. Tetris for Knight, 437, 328 for Pixel Andy. Pacifist in Rage, first time chatter. Hello, welcome to the the stream. 483 Knight, tuck of a T, another tuck of a T, a skim of a O. Just trying to wait out this bar here. Nuwanda with the Twitch sub, 19, kind of a high board transition for Knight, no problem. Going to knock it down with a Tetris. 3 lines away for Andy. There's a double and a triple. Should have a safe entry into 19. Slightly high, but should be okay. Another triple down for Andy. Oh yeah, he's gonna almost the opposite of a pullback with that S piece for Andy. He was able to put it over on the right side with that long bar coming. A Tetris was coming, so he knew he could build out that stack a little higher. 513 for Pixel Andy, 605 for Knight. Tetris for Knight, 641. 542 for Andy. 100,000 point lead for Knight, but Knight also ahead in lines. Dan V says streaks used to end because people ended up in challengers, though. That's true. And that is less likely now. So I guess you have to take these streak things and contextualize them. I mean, if you said masters or challengers, but the problem is people would withdraw challengers. They had no idea that it would matter. It doesn't matter. 709 for Knight, 663 for Pixel Andy. Was Dog ever in challengers? I can't recall a time. Miles says no. I can't imagine him playing it. Tetris for Knight, 811. 731 for Pixel Andy. Like, even if he qualled in somehow, I can't imagine him electing to play in it. Has he ever... I wonder if he's ever qualled in and then dropped out because he finished in challengers. 797 for Pixel Andy, 855. Well, we can ask him later tonight. He's playing. Tetris Pixel Andy, 832. He's getting set up in column 9 with a long bar. Tetris for Andy, 868. They're 5 lines apart right now. And we are headed toward level 29. Nice triple for Knight. Makes you like that RNG right there. Well-timed bar. So 936 for Knight, 972 into 29, 940 for Andy. And Knight getting a dirty Tetris. Andy gonna triple and Tetris into 29. A51 for Knight, 987 for Pixel Andy. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Vandy, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, please hit thumbs up. What is it? What is it? If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you and have a nice day. A01 for Pixel Andy. A74 for Knight. Yeah, I've never said it fast before, so I didn't know what things were coming. I'm like, wait, what? B24. We're on 29, man. You can't say the line during 29. Too much going on. All right, so Andy, A22, B29 for Knight. Knight ahead by 8 lines. Takes a triple down, gets set up again. Maybe kind of all in on this bar. Long bar gets over. And I don't know how much more Knight is going to be able to survive here. That is a B80. The target for Andy is B81. B81 is the target. He's got 54 lines to work with. There is a Tetris. Tetrises right now are worth 30. No, I'm sorry. They're worth 40. What are they worth? They're worth something. On 35, there was 43,200. Yeah, 43,200. And there it is, a Tetris for Andy. And he is going to come back and take this and move on to the top 8. So Knight with a great match here, but it is Andy who is going to take this in a decider. GG's to you, Knight. GG's Pixel. Andy, you will be playing against Tugi. Were these both deciders? I think we've had 2 deciders, right, guys? My word. Anyway, GG's Knight. Hope to see you back here in subsequent months. Yeah, these were both deciders, right? All right, I didn't report the first match, so 3-2. Man. All right, Pixel Andy 3, Knight 2. But a great matchup. I mean, that really just went right to the end. Yeah, it's going to be Andy versus Tugi. So let's see. Andy is 11. Tugi is 14. Oh my goodness. Hold on. All right, let's reset everything. Go into the top 8. Goodbye, decider. The left is going to be 11. The right is going to be 14. And let me just apply the game transform from game 2. Andy, 11. Copy, transform. Why isn't it letting me copy it? What the heck? There we go. Paste, transform. Why didn't it paste it? It didn't. Why isn't it pasting the transform? What the heck? Hold on. I am not doing stencil again. All right, so this should be copying transform from Andy's on this scene to Andy's on this scene, and it didn't paste it. Oh, there we go. You used to be able to paste into a locked thing, but I guess you can't anymore. Okay, players, hello. It is your old pal Van Dweller. I'm going to go ahead and put pieces in the chat. It's been a very long stream. I feel like that second match was like the longest match I've ever... I don't know why. It just seemed really long. I'm going to go ahead and put pieces in the chat. And there they are. K9 watching Tetris used 80 bits for an on-screen celebration. I had no idea. Thank you, K9. Fun fact, Alex has never finished worse than the year before. Yeah, he's always improved or maintained his standing. That is correct. All right, well, I guess we'll start this match tomorrow. It's going to be tough for him to improve this year. I think they should just save him to the end, and then, you know, if you get through the bracket, you have to face a gauntlet. You know, you have to go through all the previous winners who are still playing or around. Oh, I just stretched and now I got dizzy. Well, all right, I guess while we're waiting for our other player, just let you know what's coming up today. In about 3.5 hours, Orange, round 1, round 2. That's going to be Miles, Wallbant, and Dog for the final spot in the top 16. That is this bracket. Miles, Wallbant, Dog. The winner of all that will feed into match against Meme. And then, and then 2 hours after that, depending on how that goes, it'll be another top 16 bracket. Alex T, Hydrant, Tetris Time, Blue Scooty. And I'm going to try to nap in between. So if we could get this match started, because I only got 2 hours of sleep, if we could get this match started, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. If we could get this match started, I would really like it, because I have 5 to 6 more hours of streams to do. I would love that. You're back. All right. The pieces are in the chat. Did someone pin them? I don't think so, but I will pin them. 23EACD. 23EACD. Yeah, I do even after this match, which will take an hour, I'll have 5 to 6 more hours. So if we could just move with some alacrity, I would appreciate it. I know it's not always possible, but all right. Looks like both players are ready. Let's go ahead and get them started. I'll adjust the cameras in a moment. I just want to get them started while I have the chance. It is a top 8 match between Pixel Andy and Tugi. The winner of this will go to the semifinals in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. On the left side of your screen, it is Pixel Andy, a 4-time CTM Masters event winner. Also a 5-time DAS Masters winner. And he made it into this top 8 match by defeating Chroma and Knight in rounds 2 and rounds 3. Pixel Andy has an overall PB of 11.96 million in an uncapped game. That's good for 6th on the overall leaderboard. He's ranked number 20 in the most recent Premier poll. He's the first player ever to get 2 million in a competitive Tetris match. He's a 3rd game crasher, former score world record holder when it was 8.9 million. His 41st appearance in the Masters event. He's a 6-time player in the gold bracket of CTWC, back-to-back winner of Waco Regionals in 2023 and 2024, and 4th in the Jonas Cup last year. And probably the number 1 accomplishment, well, maybe it's tied between winning Challenger Circuit in March of 2020 or winning the Chromatic Tournament at CTWC 2024. That is Pixel Andy. On the right side of your screen, it is Tugi, who defeated Jakob and Huffaluffagus to make it here into the top 8. 132 for Pixel Andy, 176 for Tugi. Tugi with a 1.37 million qualifier. That's the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. He's got an overall PB of 2.27 million. That's good for about 37th on the list. This is Tugi's 9th appearance in the Masters event. Has finished as high as the top 16 in this 32-player format, most recently last month. So this is officially Tugi's deepest run in the Masters event. He's also been in Mega Masters 3 times. Has been in CTWC Gold 4 times. Was 4th in CTWC's DAS Championship in Germany in 2022. Was top 8 the next year. That tournament has its 2025 edition happening in just a few weeks in Cologne, Germany. Tugi also played in CTEC in 2020 and 2021 and the Austria regionals this year and last year. Tugi also the former DAS world record holder and is currently 3rd on the high score list for DAS. Won a DAS tournament, one of that legendary CT DAS tournament that Scamper runs. Won CT DAS Test Tournament 2022. 308 for Tugi, 301 for Pixel Andy, and of course CTM fans will remember Tugi maybe most fondly for his interview series called Community Chronicles, which is acclaimed and award-winning, and the award is the best Tetris interview podcast that did not leave to go form a Tetris news network. 384 for Tugi, 364 for Pixel Andy. Andy's going to get a Tetris 386. This is a best of 5. So the first player to 3 wins is the winner of the match. And we'll move on to the semifinals. Andy has been in the semifinals or higher 21 times out of 41 appearances in Masters. 4 times the winner, 4 times the runner-up, 13 times finishing in the top 4. All right, there's a triple for Tugi, 487, 460 for Pixel Andy. Andy last won Masters event back in August of 2023. Tugi 535 on 19. There's a Tetris for Tugi, 559. Andy 2 lines away. We'll uncover that right side well. Gets a bar to bring this down, and now just going to go to work trying to get this stack Tetris ready. Again, Tetris for Tugi, 585. 90,000 point lead for Tugi. He's also ahead by 5 lines. $561 for Andy. He's on level 21. Level 22 for Tugi. Now, Dog has the most appearances in Masters, I think at 51 or 52. And he's been in the semis or higher 28 times. So over half the time. Tetris for Andy, 685, just to give you a sense of where players are for that. Other top players like Alex T, he's been semis or higher 22 times out of if my computer would work, out of 35 appearances. So Alex pretty efficient there. 939 for Tugi, 813 for Pixel Andy. Tetris Randy, 846, 972 for Tugi. Tugi one away, basically, from the max out. Yeah, and he's got it. A 75 for Tugi, 915 for Pixel Andy. Tugi is into 29 at B16, so 1.1 into, unless I missed that. And Andy, 2 lines to go till 29. And Tetris into 29 for Andy at A26. Tugi still going here, setting up for a Tetris. Gets it B66. Another one, Tugi, C04. Tugi, another one, C48. A83 for Pixel Andy. Oh, no, that left side for Andy, that J piece didn't quite flip right. And no, that's going to be cut off for Pixel Andy. And Tugi is going to take game number 1. There we go. Tugi, you are good. You have won game number 1. New pieces are in the chat. For when y'all are ready, A3C77A. All right, new pieces are A3C77A. All right, looks like both players are ready. Game number 2 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And I said I wasn't going to count down anything other than the first game and the decider game, but I did it. Old habits. All right, so Tugi up 1 game to none. Tugi trying to punch his ticket to the semifinals for the first time. Andy starts off there that the Z pieces, the first ZP to the left, maybe, I don't know. And I kind of missed how that all went down. All right, so Andy going to get set up for a Tetris there. That's going to leave a little gap in the stack with 5 or 6 rows of garbage over it. So that is going to lead to some extra burning for Andy. You like the countdown when you're on your watch. Oh, yeah. Lori, if you don't know that, Lori is famous for so many things. Of course, being a huge booster on YouTube, but also she watches CTM on her watch, like literally watching on her watch, which is crazy. But you know, I don't know how you see that. You must have the best like eyesight in the world. And like, how do you hear it? Do you have earbuds in, or is the sound coming out of the watch? So many questions. 104 for Tugi, 106 for Pixelandy. All right, Tugi at 128, 132 for Andy. Andy is set up in column 2, but ends up covering that, so he's going to have to clear all that up. All right, he's opened up that column 2 well and covers it again. Yeah, the bracket link is kind of a jank thing right now, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to you right here. Just go check that out. 220, I should just use that. 221 for Tugi, 184 for Pixelandy. Tetris Tugi 246. It's an earbud, but the sound comes out of the watch as well, like when you answer a call on your watch. Got it. $277 Andy, 316 Tugi. So Tugi still in the lead here. They're one line apart now, and Tugi has about a 17,000 point lead. $409 Tugi, Tetris, Pixelandy, 391. All right, so we are still close in score, close in lines. There's a nice J piece for Tugi. Kind of fill out the middle of his stack. Long bar gets over 501, 482 for Andy. So 4 more Tetrises available. Now 3 more Tetrises available for Tugi. So a 600K transition is on the table for Tugi. There's another Tetris. Tetris Tugi 593. And there's a Tetris and a 600K transition, 617 for Tugi. Pixel going to use that long bar to fix his stack rather than take the triple down that right side. And the triple goes in. Andy is in at 542, and he is going dirty right off the bat. Long bar in Tetris, and another long bar in for a Tetris. So he was built 8 high Tetris well and gets 2 consecutive Tetrises. 594 for Andy, 700,000 for Tugi. Tugi's ahead by 9 lines. Tetris for Andy, 620. $810 for Tugi, 678 for Andy. So Tugi up about 132,000 points, ahead by 6 lines. $933 for Tugi, $773 for Andy. Tugi into 25, Andy still on 24. Simul Tetris, $835 Andy, $996 Tugi. All right, Tugi here with could really use a bar now. Just going to bring it down. A bar would have been good, but now still kind of needs one. Now really would love one. Blocks the well just as it comes. Oh, no. I don't know if that was an overshift with that bar, but okay. Got to uncover and get that bar down. So Tugi going to survive that A86 and none too soon as level 29 is about to hit. In just a few lines, that speed is going to double. Tetris Tugi into 29 with a 1.1. Another Tetris Tugi B64. Andy now at A46 on 28. Oh, that O doesn't get all the way to the left, and that is going to complicate Tugi's board a little bit here. He's knocking it down. A long bar goes in. And he's... Oh, that left side, but he could still get that over. I think Tugi... Oh, no, the misdrops here. Not sure what he's going to get. No, that is a top out B93 for Tugi. The target for Pixelandia is B94. B94 is the target. That is within 2 Tetrises. Andy knows the situation. You see him taking triples and singles and all the conservative plays here. So Andy trying to just chip this in. There's a fire alarm, but not the building fire alarm. That's our individual apartment fire alarm. And there it is. Andy is good in game number 2, and this match is tied up. The pieces are here. That is BB199E. Those are B's. Bravo, Bravo 199E. What is up with Tetris and fire alarms anyway? I don't know. Something fire matches. I don't know. It's because, you know, half of Tetris takes place in my apartment and the fire alarm goes off all the time. And then I don't know. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let's check seeds. BB199E, yes. Game number 3 is here. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 3 between Pixel Andy and Tugi. So 3, 2, 1 Tetris for Lori. All right, it is game number 3 as this match tightens up. Sir Andy took game number 2. And if you want both of these players to make it into the prize pool, that part is up to you, the viewers. We are about $760.01 away from our $2,000 top 8 target. If we get to that, we can pay the top 8. And if you want that to happen, use the Matcherino command while you're watching live here on Twitch and YouTube. That will bring up the links to our prize pool contribution thing with our partner Matcherino. And we don't have to do it all at once. You can chip in 5, you can chip in 1, you can chip in 10. You can chip in $760.01 if you want. Whatever you got, whatever's burning a hole in your pocket, use it to support Tetris. Players, really, this is the prize pool. I don't get it. $210 for Pixel Andy, $188 for Tugi. All right, Lori, I have an Apple Watch. It's a little bit older. I think I can get the YouTube app on it. I'm gonna try to watch. I'm gonna try to watch, not CTM, but something live on my watch. I don't use Apple Watch anymore. I use just like a regular, like a Casio watch. But I'm gonna try it because I want to see if this works. Tetris for Pixel Andy, 259, 266 for Tugi. Fluffy Lemur is here. Welcome. Another Tetris for Andy, 306 through 64, 289 for Tugi through 64. We have more Tetris coming up in 3 hours. No problem, Hilo. Appreciate your being here. So yeah, more. It's going to be the orange bracket, Wallbant, Miles, and Dog playing for the final top 16 spot in this tournament. And then following that, it'll be a whole top 16 bracket, blue and purple, which will be Alex T, Hydrant Dude, Blue Scooty, and Tetris Time. So if you're a fan of Alex T or Hydrant Dude or Tetris Time, you should watch that. I don't know if Blue Scooty has any fans, but you know, if there happen to be like one or two out there, you can watch him then there too. 372 for Pixel Andy. That is going to be a nice L-piece flat long bar burn. And Andy bringing this stack back down. Tetris for Tugi, 421. 382 for Pixel Andy. That lineup is a little bit stacked. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I think everyone, let me think, in that lineup, they've all been in the top 8 of CTWC, I believe. Has Hydrant Dude? I think so. Yeah, in 2022. So they've all been in at least the top 8 of CTWC. And 3 out of the 4 are multi-time Masters winners. Since we count Stupid Tetris Monthly now, not to upset Tugi while he's trying to play. 505 for Tugi. 507 into 19. All right, they've all won at least one CTM Masters event and or Stupid Tetris Monthly event. There you go. 572 for Pixel Andy, 517 for Tugi. So Tugi back by about 54,000 points. There's a Tetris for Andy. Now that the lines are tied, it's about an 80,000 point lead for Andy. Tetris is on level 20, are worth 25,200. No, Dan V, the monthly STM will not confer a Masters title, but the end of the year championship that these feed into will do that. Those will be like multi-disciplinary, multi-discipline tournaments as opposed to solo mode tournaments, and that is the justification for that. 655 for Tugi, 697 for Pixel Andy. Yeah, the STMs throughout the year will feed some of their high finishers into a multidisciplinary, multi-mode championship. And by end of the year, I mean like next summer, something like that. Like a year, pretty much a year from now. 750 for Tugi, 821 for Pixel Andy. And that will confer a Masters event because that will take place instead of regular Masters. $828 for Tugi. Lapis Lazuli Tetris with the sub on Twitch. Thank you, Lapis. I didn't even know you were unbanned in this channel, but thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. 864 for Tugi, 909 for Andy. So Tugi has closed the gap quite a bit. And we are now on level 28. I'm making a joke at Lapis's expense because that is the only way I can deal with it. All right, and Tugi one line away from what could be a very awkward transition. We'll see what he can do to try to bring this down. That left side, can anything... Oh my goodness, what the heck? No. That is going to be a top out for Tugi on 29 at 923. Pixel Andy is good in game number 3. Goes up 2 games to 1. Will they have another no cap November? Probably. But I don't know. I want to take the temperature of the player base because I don't know. Maybe it's time to not do it. I know Huff would want to do it, but other than that. Lapis says no cap November is too funny not to have it. I mean, it's a funny name for sure. All right, we are up 2 games. So here are the new pieces players. D1E530, D1E530. Well, Naraya says, please, no cap November. All right, well, I'll take your request under advisement. Like, hasn't no cap really achieved what it's going to achieve? We already have like double colors, multiple rollovers. Like, how many rollovers were in that? I mean, Dog and Scooty. I mean, it was crazy. Like, I think we've maxed out the potential of that format. You know, maybe we can do something in the same spirit, but not quite that. I don't know. That's several months away. I haven't really thought about it. D1E530. Okay. Both players are ready. It is game number 4. Tugi needs to win this one to stay in the tournament and keep his run going. Pixel Andy looking to end it right now. They are underway. 49 cap November. Yeah, I guess we did do a 49 cap that one time just as a way to ease into the line cap era. Gerald won that one. Scotty Ginge says, sorry, Vandy, I don't want to steal time away from play, but is there anywhere to get more info on this season-long championship? Well, yeah, that's the stupid Tetris monthly series where every single month a different kind of game mode or variant is played, very similar to the side events at CTWC. So every month that we do it will be a different mode or variant. So things like a speed run or no next box or, no long bar or, stuff like that. Secret grade. So it'll be a different one every month that we do it. And the winners, no rotation. The winners of those and some of the high finishers, I don't know, I have to work it out. We'll get an automatic entry into what will be the championship for Stupid Tetris Monthly. And that will be a multidisciplinary thing where all the modes and more will be in play. And so in order to win, you have to be a master of many different skills. Now, if you don't like the word Stupid Tetris Monthly, you can just call it Skillful Tetris Monthly, STM. There you go. And we're just testing different Tetris skills. If you don't like it, you can think of it as the Tetris Skills Challenge or whatever. But I just called it that back in the day because I thought it was funny. But it upsets some people. They go, if it's stupid, it shouldn't count for anything. But yeah, it's just the name of it. But it is a Tetris Skills Challenge throughout the year. 239 for Tugi. And you can follow along here on CTM YouTube. That is right, Scotty Ginge. It is just another... It's basically a third CTM tournament that we are adding because I need more streams because, more content equals more... I'm trying to pump as much value into the world as I can And hopefully that will be good for the channel and good for the Tetris scene. $289 for Tugi, $325 for Pixelandy. Is STM for ELO? I don't run ELO, but almost certainly not. $353 for Pixelandy, $319 for Tugi. You want to do a color start tournament? I don't hate that idea. Just start on 130 or level 130. I don't hate it. All right, Scotty Ginge, thanks. Yeah, you want to call it Smart Tetris Monthly? That's fine. Skibbity Tetris Monthly, get out of here. You should be banned for that. What the heck? Oh my god. All right, long bar down. Tetris for Tugi. There's another Tetris for Tugi. And just needs one little L or J. Or I guess that bar will work. And he's set up again. And gets another one. 463 for Tugi. Tetris for Andy, 521. We're 18 lines away from level 19. But yeah, if you want if you want me to just rename it the Tetris Skills Championship, I'm happy to do it. I don't care. If the name is going to be a problem for people and they can't see that it is a skill challenge, then I'll change it. I will not change it to Skibbity Tetris Monthly, though. That is for sure. 557 entry for Tugi into 19. Tetris for Pixelandy, 612. He's got 2 lines to go until 19. Built up for another Tetris. Strenuous Tetris Monthly? I mean, I don't know if it's a strain. All right, Tugi 6. I mean, every stream that I do is a strain, as longtime viewers and listeners know. Tetris for Pixelandy, 714. 623 for Tugi. Oh, classic BS Monthly, Kibby. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she had that name. That was a good moment. I love Kibby on comms. Oh no, Tugi's right side is cut off, and that is gonna do it for Tugi's run. And Pixelandy is gonna take this one 3-1. Andy, you are going to the semifinals. Congratulations, Pixelandy. And Pixelandy is now in the semifinals of 2 of our tournaments at the same time. There is your Classic Tetris Monthly bracket winner, Pixelandy, into the semifinals. What the actual heck? Look at this individual. Oh my goodness. Congratulations to you, Andy. How often does that happen where people are in the semis of both? It's got to feel good. By the way, Tugi with a great run, made it into the top 8 for the first time, took a game off a 4-time championship. And I got to say, Tugi just seems to increase in skill. Like every time I see him play, his rolling was so smooth this time that, I mean, it's just very, very impressive for Tugi. to have the improvement that he's done. So I think we're going to see more good stuff from Tugi in the future, and GG's to you. And, I hope to see it. So, yeah, Pixel Andy is your red bracket. Basically, your red and pink is considered the red bracket winner. You are the red bracket winner, Pixel Andy. Congratulations. Let me report the results of this match. And yeah, really happy to see Tugi kind of make progress here. And happy to see Andy back in the semis. I mean, Andy hasn't won a Masters since August of 2023 and is now in kind of a position to have a chance to do that. He's been kind of focusing on DAS for a while, kind of stepping away from rolling playstyles, so hasn't really been in a position to make a run, and now is back with knuckle rolling. I mean, if he's the first knuckle roller, what the heck? Everyone's going to do that, right? All right, let's take a look at our bracket now. So GG's again, Pixel Andy. Yeah, let us show the I guess not the top 16. The top 8, I guess, we'll show that one. Because that has both top 8 and that. All right, so Pixel Andy is your first semi-finalist. So GG's to you, Pixel Andy. Now, in about a little under 3 hours, I'm going to try to take a nap. In a little under 3 hours, we will have the orange bracket. This will fill out our top 16. So our top 16, we still have one open spot. This orange bracket, that's the, it's the one that's going to face meme. It's going to be Miles, Wallband, and Dog. So that is an actually really excellent trio to play. That's going to feed into one with meme. And however that goes, that is going to be a great matchup as well. So that is happening in about 3 hours. And then after that, like pretty much right after that, it's going to be another top 16 bracket, Alex T, Hydrant, Blue Scooty, and Tetris time. So thanks to everybody who hung out for this stream. Really appreciate that. Had a lot of fun. As we always do. Thank you to our patrons who are helping to make this tournament possible. Everyone on your screen helping to do it, including special shouts to Scott Gray, Jane the Window, K9, Tacnerus, Corporal, Shall Be, Troy, Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cat Kit, and Mila. If you want to support the channel, patreon.com/monthly Tetris is a great place to do that. And thanks to those of you who supported the stream today. We had new followers on Twitch and YouTube: Momoya, Vonchas, Yippee, Amberland, Swimming Guitar, Intro Wade. New subs on Twitch or resubs: Commodore Friday, Derek, Nuanda, Lapis, Twitch Bits, Army of Markness, Super Chats, Dano222. Thank you for that. And the prize pool is now looking pretty decent. Not quite where we need to be, but it's making progress, thanks in part to, well, thanks and mostly to a big chunk from Scott Gray. So we're up to $1239.99. If you want to support the prize pool, use the Matcherino command while you're still watching live here, or go to go.ctm.gg/prize or ctm.gg/Matcherino. Thanks to everybody who contributed during this stream or last night, including Scott Gray with that monster contribution, Jasmine $5, Army of Markness $5, and Cousin Avi with the 30. Thank you all so very much. Okay, so that is going to do it. Join us here in about 3.5 hours. We'll have probably 5 to 6 more hours of Tetris for you all. Tetris never rests. Okay, YouTube, you are gone. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Appreciate that. Laurie, DJ, Mr. Burrow, Russell, Mark, Tris, Hilo, everybody over there. Thank you very much. Fluffy Lemur, have a beautiful night. See you in a little bit. Take care. Bye-bye. And Twitch, thank you all again